This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So get FSCL is for checking the policy for the ACL, and ACL actually allows us to apply more specific set of permission to a file or directory without necessarily changing the base ownership and permissions. So here we'll see the what are all files we are having here. It's file one on OpenSSH server. We'll go back. We have test and test one. So we'll see the information about test and test one. Test and test one. We can see that for test to other group we have read write permission, and to others uh, in the group itself, to all the people we have permission for read and write, and to others we have read and execute. We have not given permission to execute. So for suppose you are in an organization and you are required to give the permission to other people as well, so that they should come and read. Suppose you are a developer. Suppose in your organization you are an admin, and other two people or three people there are developer. So one developer wanted to share some file with another developer, but they don't want write permission to be given to everybody in another's directory. So for that case, you should use this permission. To other, you can revoke the write permission. Read and execute you can give, so that they don't have the write permission, and hence they will not be able to write anything. They will not be able to modify any content in that. So here set FSCL comes with what options we will be using is -d and -n. What -d does is it gives the default permission. It sets the default permission. -m it modifies the permission, and -x it removes the permissions. So we wanted to modify with default permissions. And yeah, one more thing I wanted to inform that whenever anybody said anything.
Can you repeat the sentence? -d.
-d is for default, whatever the default we wanted to keep. -m is for modify, and I have pressed -x is for delete the permissions or remove the permissions actually. So I was about to use -m, and before using, I wanted to say one more thing, that we have created a new user sometime back. So Linux, how it works is, after creating a new user, it creates a group of the same name, and it adds that particular user in that particular group. So you can see here, in file. In file, we have created sometime back. We have created test and test one user. So you can see that owner is test and group is also test. But I have never created a group called test. So whenever create a user with the username, it automatically creates a group as well. But yes, if you want to be get added that particular user in different groups, that also we can do. So now here, what I'm going to modify the default permission is test : read write execute and then test. So this is the default permission I'm setting with. This is to show that how to set the default permission for that particular files. This is the file, dot slash is file, test is the group. So okay, here can I ask someone, or can somebody reply me that what is dot slash and what is dot slash? What is the meaning of that?
Hidden files.
Dot slash means current directory.
Mm-hmm.
Execution
Dot
files are
slash means
dot
the
slash.
previous.
Yeah, correct. Let me show here. ls, I have test and test one. Okay, ls space dot slash. If I'm giving, it's going to give me the same thing. ls space dot slash, it means I'm looking from the previous directory now. Previous from where I'm sitting currently. Suppose if I go into the test and if I give ls, it's going to give me the content of test. And if I'm going to do test, sorry, ls dot slash, it's going to give me the one directory back from where I'm sitting currently. I'm sitting inside test. So if I'm doing dot slash, it's going to give me the content of one folder above than the test. So it's giving me the content from home. And if I do dot slash one step back in directory, dot slash one step back more in directory. So it will give me root from root. Sorry, I have changed the directory itself. You can see that I have sitting in test. You can see pwd is test, is still test. I'm still in test, but I'm able to see the content of two directory back. So the root contents. Okay. So this is frequently used. You will also be using frequently this dot slash and dot slash. So let me check the policy which we have changed. Dot slash test, no, dot slash test. For default user is this one, read write execute. For default user test, read write execute. For default user, for default group, read write, there is no execute. For everybody, it's not given the execute permission. For default mask is read write execute, and for default others it has only read and execute. So the meaning of default here is whatever the file I'm going to create inside that directory, it's going to have the same set of rules whatever I have applied for that particular directory. That's the meaning of default. You can change the default, you can do whatever you want. Okay, suppose if I what I can say is I will create a folder Let me check it out here where I am currently. I'm in test 1. So mpdir, I'm going to create a folder called working inside test, and I'm going to change the ownership of this test 1 colon test working. Now I will see. Oh, operation not permitted. Obviously, I need to go. I need to do sudo, and the admin can do that. Change the ownership. Now get FSCL. If I do for working, now ownership, we can see that it's test 1, even though I have created that into test, and group is test. So I have created a folder within the test group that's owned by the user test 1. He now will be able to see the account test folder, but only create file in his own folder. So let me see what is the meaning of whatever I told. Test 1, CentOS, PWD, access permission denied. But where I am, yeah, working. I should go into this working directory, and let me see. I'm able to create it. So what I'm trying to showcase here is test. Here, test folder, which was owned by the group test and the user test as well. But we have, so test user, in this test, we should not give the permission for testing 1, but by creating a folder and changing the access control policy of this working folder so that test 1 can modify here, we are able to write down a file. You can see that. Currently I am logged in and user test 1, and I'm able to create a file inside test and inside working directory. Touch test, it has created a file. Let me see through ls. It has created a file. Why? Because it has been owned by the test 1. So this is about changing the access control list and changing the there are several other things, more things you can do with that. I'll share a link for changing the ACLs, and you can get help whenever you are playing with that particular ACLs. Okay. What is next? Uh, I have not told about this quotas actually. Let me check if package I'm able to install or not. Look, you can see this base extra updates. It means like it is downloading the metadata or the database from the server. You can see that update this for DB. It has downloaded 16. Before that, it's downloading from base extra updates. Quota check package, it's not available. Let me check what is the meaning, what is the name of the package. So everybody knows that how we can search that particular package. Sudo yum search QUOTA. Let me see. System is tool for monitoring users disk usage quota. Okay. So the package name is simply quota. I will give yes to install. We have got the quota check. So in quota, there are three things: a hard limit, soft limit, and grace period. The hard limit, what is the meaning of hard limit? Is suppose if you specify okay, what is the meaning of quota here? It's like in Linux, we can set up a disk quota using one of the following method is file system based disk quota and user or group based disk quota. I mean, for a particular user, how much quota you are going to define so that he has to use within that particular limit itself. So there is called hard limit and soft limit. But the meaning of hard limit is if I'm going to specify a 10 GB of hard limit and then user for that particular user, then user will not be able to create any new file after that particular amount, after the particular set amount. Suppose if I've given 2 GB, that particular user will not be able to create any file more than 2 GB. That's the thing. And soft limit is, suppose if I'm specifying 1 GB as a soft limit, then user will get a warning that this quota is exceeded once if the user reaches 1 GB daily limit. Sorry, 1 GB limit. It's not about daily limit. But they will still be able to create a new file until they reach a hard limit. So you know the difference between soft limit and hard limit. It's like soft limit is warning, hard limit is for restricting them that they cannot create more than that. And grace period is, suppose if I'm specifying a 10 days as a grace period, after user reaches their hard limit, they would be allowed additional 10 days to create new files. In that time period, they should try to get back to the quota limit within that particular time limit. So what I'm trying to explain here is we have a 10 days. Suppose if I have given a 10 days time limit to grace period. So in that the user will be able to create hard limit, except hard limit, I mean, exceeding hard limit as well. But if the grace period is gone, he will not be able to do anything. So within that grace period itself, he might need to delete some of the files and he has to come back within that 2 GB hard limit itself. Then only that will go ahead. So how we can enable the quota check? Okay, etc fstab. Okay, fstab is file system tab. So in this file, let's see what all things is there. We'll explain it there itself. So you can see that this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So there are 3 things, 3 lines. So the meaning of 3 line here is root file, root CentOS hyphen root has been mounted as slash, it means root, and the file system is XFS, and it has got the default values, and whatever policy it is going to be get employed, it's all default. And what is after that? 00. I need to check. I don't remember what is those. Maybe those are hard limit and soft limit. That can be. No, I can't be so sure. No, I need to check what is these two numbers, 0 and 0 numbers.
So that
Okay.
is for
Anyways,
password.
pardon?
I think GPG check password.
GPG password. Huh? What are you saying? I'm not able to get what you're saying. Okay. FSCK password. I don't know actually. I'm not sure. I'm not positive. We'll check. Actually, that's not the concern here right now. We can check that later as well. For now, here what I'm trying to say or what I'm trying to explain is we can have in left side, we can have the first argument, we can have the device, and in next second column, we need to have where we wanted to mount that particular device. Third is what is the file system and whatever policy we need to apply. That is the most important part here. Similarly, and this is going to happen whenever our system is going to boot. So suppose if I'm going to delete this line, it's not going to mount the swap in your operating system whenever your operating system turns on. If I remove this line, it's not going to mount the boot file system, and hence you are not going to boot your file. Somebody has commented something in the chat box. Let's see. FSCK password and backup. Maybe, I'm not sure, but currently we are not going to do anything with FSCK right now. I mean, for the password and all. But let's see. Oh, I'm changing the read-only file. I need to use this with sudo. Okay, I'm going to give an example here. Home, I'm going to get mounted as home, and that file system is going to be XFS, defaults, policies, and then user quota. And then group quota, and let's say 1 GB is soft limit, 2 GB is hard limit. I've applied and I've then written into the file, and then let's reboot it and see what is going to happen. It's taking some time, maybe. Let's wait for some time. Continue. I think it's because of the command whatever we have added for disk quota check. The ideal way to use that particular disk quota check is like we have a file system mounted there. I mean, everybody remembers that whenever we are formatting the, or whenever we are installing the Linux at that time, we were having a privilege to mount the different folder with a different set of file size or disk size, I can say that. Like for boot, we have given a different separate space that 1 GB you need to take. Similarly, we can give for home also like some separate GB you need to take it from there, and then remaining we can give to the root. So that was the ideal situation, but I gave a try here to do it within that root file system itself. Okay, great. So it's not rebooting. So how to recover this system? Okay. I don't want to use the systemctl reboot to reboot. I just want to recover from here so that it boots normally. Okay. So this is again another session I can say, which might be coming in future, but since it came now, I will explain now itself. Okay, that you got stuck at somewhere during boot and you have done some changes, how to go inside the system and how to do the changes. Okay, so please everybody concentrate on this, because this is going to save you. Let me reset this machine. Now after resetting, I have this. Immediately when it comes, actually you need to press either up or down key or anything with this. If you don't press, it will start booting from anything, any of the by default selected medium, either the first one or second one. So there are two things. You can go in rescue mode and start booting. You can see whether it's booting even or not. Or here I can go. You can see there are options which is coming below. Use the arrow keys to change the selection. Press E to edit the selection item or C for command prompt. So I will edit this. Okay. So what I'm going to edit here, I will tell you. Load video, I will give a try to disable this. I don't want the video here. And it's a little bit different. It's too short and it's a lot more different, I can say that. Okay, let me give a try for this. Kinetic rw space it equals to /bin/bash. So what I'm trying to do is whatever you are saying here, it's all the argument which is given to boot the particular system with set of settings. Here I'm going to add this rw init equals to /bin/bash. It means like I wanted to have a read write permission, and whenever init starts, okay, init start, it has to start with terminal. I mean, it just gives me the bin bash. I don't want anything there. Strain is strucking. Is it strucking for everybody?
Yes, sir.
Not fair. Let me reshare it again. Is it coming now?
Yes,
It's
sir.
fine, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me start from starting again. How I have reached here, everybody knows, or you want me to go again here? Okay. I've pressed escape. So by default, this menu comes, okay, whenever we reboot the system. After rebooting, actually there is a timer or the countdown starts whenever your system comes at this stage. So your timer used to run here. It will show that 5 seconds you have, like 5, 4, 3, 2. If you are pressing any key, it will stop here. The timer will get stopped. If you're not pressing, it will automatically boot from the first menu. So what this first is actually, what is written here? we can go inside by using E. Whenever I have selected the first one, after selecting first one, we don't have anything to do with the mouse here right now. So I need to use keyboard and press E only once. I've pressed E, it has gone inside. After going inside, what I want is whenever my system boots up, I don't want anything to be get loaded there. I want only bash to be loaded. So I am going to remove the video. Anyways, that was not required. Or okay, let that be video. And let me add this one. So RW is read write permission I want, and init equal to bin bash is like whenever the init process comes up, /bin/bash has to be run by the init. And the init means is the process which starts first is init, and the process ID for init is 0. After anything starts, first process in your operating system is init. Okay, so if I want to boot here, okay, what I was searching, it was below. So let me delete from here and let me add here. You can see this. I need to remove this and I need to add here RW till quiet. I should be removing, and RW equals to RW space and it equals to /bin/bash. This was the place I was searching last time. This init RD16 init ramfs and it's accessing the image file. I can explain later what is this and what is this VM liners. It's accessing. We can see that later. Okay. I will save and exit so that it boots from my given arguments. So for that, it is showing below. You can read the below messages. What showing? Press Ctrl X to start. Press Ctrl C to command prompt, or escape to discard the edits. So if I press Ctrl X, it will save whatever all changes I have done temporarily. These changes are not going to be whatever all changes I have made. RW space init equals to /bin/bash. These changes are not going to be here all the time. Whenever I will reboot the system, this is gone. So the default changes will be available here. Okay. So to boot with these changes, whatever is I have made, I need to press Ctrl X. So I'm pressing Ctrl X. Wait, I need to boot the normal mode. Yeah, Ctrl X. It's booting now. It will boot something like this. Previously, it was showing a GUI, but this time it will not show the GUI. Let's see, does it give us that particular? Oh, I should have disabled that. Okay, it gives us the bash. You can see that previously it was not giving anything. Okay, so what I was about to do is /etc/fs tab. This was the line I have added. Let me delete this line and save this, and then simply reboot. Reboot is not there. Okay, shut down. Now is also not there. Init fix is there. No, that's also not there. Okay. Then send control. Init 0 will work here. No, that's also not working. Init 6 is for restart. Init 0 is for shutdown.
System CTL power off, sir.
Okay. System CTL space power off. Got it? So by running all this command, we see command not found or that particular service is not running. So what I'm trying to explain here now is by giving init equal to bin bash, you are able to see that at this point of time nothing has started. Your system CTL also has not been started. Okay, which takes care of yours all services. We are even though before that, and we are able to access the system. You got it? Let me reboot from this host itself. Actually, if you press Ctrl Alt Del, it will reboot. Now I can show you here what all changes I have made, whether those changes are still there or not. You can see those changes are not there. Okay, it has written its own thing. Got it? What are all changes you are making here? Make sure what you are doing, because if you delete something, if you delete this line, or this init rdvm linus line, or any unexpected changes, if you do, you may leave your system inaccessible. You will not be able to access your system at all until unless you give the correct one. So please don't edit if you don't know. Okay. First, if you have encountered any changes, try to understand through the log what are all it was throwing error, and after that, please try to understand it. If you are able to understand, well enough. If you're not able to understand, go Google it, understand what Google is saying about that error, and then come back here and edit this grub menu. Actually, this menu is called a grub menu. Grub here, it's not showing anywhere, but this menu is called grub, and grub gives us the privilege to set the boot parameter and boot file and all the kernel binaries, what are all we are having here. Okay, so we have modified that previously in grub, and we have made the changes and rebooted the system. Now I don't want any changes to be done. I just simply want to boot the way it was booting before, and we'll see whether I'm able to boot or not. So we'll see the quota check once again when we will have that kind of setup. Okay, it's pretty easy. It doesn't have much thing. I was about to just explain one more thing, that add quota and that particular user, if you give, okay, you can see there it has give us, it's successfully booted. Okay, it's recovered from the error whatever it was throwing. So now everybody knows how to recover from the error. Okay, since I was using that grub, let me explain one more thing. Etc boot, sorry, not etc, boot grub. Oh, I don't need this. Grub to ls grub to grub.cfg is there. Okay, put grub to .cfg. This is the configuration file, and this is what it was showing us above. So there are some tricks which I can tell you if you wanted to modify, if you wanted to look more. If you want to change anything permanently here, you can change it here, and that's whatever changes you are going to make, it's going to be permanent. Why? Because you are modifying a configuration file of the grub2. Okay, so please make sure what you are doing here right now. So I will add a name here. Okay, I will add, I'll just make a silly modification just to showcase that it's permanent and it shows you at the boot time also. Whomsoever name is going to come first. Okay, Prasanna name. What is the name first? Vasu Prada. Okay, I'm going to take this name and I will write it down here simply just to showcase that it's working fine and its changes are permanent. So actually this first line, whatever you are saying, this first line, it's actually just a menu entry. It doesn't contain anything. Okay, from here to here. So whatever name you are going to give, it's going to be get visible. So I'm just changing the name. I'm not changing any content, what that particular name is going to hold. This is a content. I should not change not even a single character in this. If I change single character, this UUID may not be valid. So this file may not be valid, whatever it's trying to access. Okay. So I've made the change only in this column. And I will save this file. And I will reboot the system. And whenever the grub menu come, I'm going to pause and see whether it's coming there or not. If it's not coming, yeah, you can see that it's coming. I will press enter and I will normally boot. So it's just one trick which I showed you, like you can modify according to your need and you can do that. It has nothing to do with the system. It's just for an understanding that you can modify, you can make some changes permanently. So in that disk quota, what was remaining, you can see that failed message here, but that failed message we don't have anything to do. But in case if you are failing anything and if you're not able to boot, you need to look at that and you might need to fix that error. No. So what I was about to show you is, yeah, it says no file system with quota detected because I have removed that particular file system from the FS tab. So when I will have that, it will open me a window saying that this user has this much of quota from this disk. What is the hard limit? What is the soft limit you wanted to edit? And I can edit and it's done. That is the only part about add quota. But that can be done by modifying the file system, not like this. Okay, if I have mounted that particular file system with a particular set of storage, then I should be able to do. So that's it about add quota. I'm not sharing right now. And what next topic I will be covering is okay, let me start with the boot process. What is the boot process actually? You might need to I may give you the little explanation and little feel as well that how the boot process works, but may not be the complete. So whenever you boot up, what it starts in your system. I don't have anything to show here right now. That's the reason I'm not sharing currently. So whenever you boot your system or you restart your system, you used to have BIOS. Okay, BIOS starts up, and after that, after starting the BIOS, which sets up the basic input output system and executes the MBR. MBR, it's master boot record, which it starts a grub. Now you know what is grub actually, and that particular grub is sitting into the /boot directory. So whenever BIOS starts, it checks for particular values, and that whenever we create a boot file system, at that time it is get assigned, and it access that particular MBR from there and the values, and it loads the grub, and after loading the grub, that's what the grub we have seen, and grub will have further all the information. I mean, what to load, where to load, how to load. So now grub will jump to the kernel, which is sitting in your base of operating system, or I can say it's a core of your operating system. If you don't have kernel, you can't do anything. So first it has to load the kernel, and after that it has to load the init, and after init it has to load the different run levels. When I say run level, there are 8 run levels in Linux system. What does the meaning of run levels in Linux system? When I have pressed, okay, I will tell how to reach to that particular run level. Init, not init. Run level 0 is a level where your system is halted and powered off safely. Run level 1 means it's single user mode. Run level 2 is it's multiple user mode with network file system. Run level 3 means if I want to go in run level 3, it means that it can have multiple user enabled under the command line interface and not under any graphical user interface. Run level 4 is user defined level, and run level 5 is multiple user mode under GUI, and this is standard run level for most of the Linux based system. So whenever you are turning on your normal Linux desktop and it gives you the normal GUI, it means you are in run level 5. And if you are giving run level 6, it means that you wanted to reboot and restart your system. So actually it's 7 run level, not 8. Okay, so how we can go into that different run level? And actually when I say run level, what I mean, what are all things is going to be get started in that run level. I have told you that run level 1, this is going to be get enabled. Run level 2, something is going to get enabled. But if you want something to be get executed at that particular run level, then what you can do is, let me show here again. ls/etc rc.local. Yeah, here you can see rc0.d. There is a folder. It means whatever you define here. Yeah, whatever you define here, it is going to be there. rc0.d, rc1.d is the run level 1 things. So your network is here. They are saying that network and console is going to work at 1 and 0 and 2 also. Yeah, 2 also. So in different run level, you can modify the script what you wanted to do there. Okay, and rc.d must be there. Sorry, rc.local. Yeah, rc.d is the default, or probably the customize. You can edit, and in that rc.d you are having rc.local also. Let me show that. etc slash rc.d. Sorry, I'm after that rc.local. Here you can see I have added one extra line, dh client. You remember that everybody's yesterday and day before yesterday, whenever I reboot a system, my network is gone and I need to reset all the time. I need to get the IP every time from the DH client by that command. So what I have done is I have simply added the DH client command in rc.local. So what it does is rc.local is going to execute at every boot. Whenever it's booted at level 5, it's going to be get executed. So now I need not do anything at all. I can see that IP address should have been assigned right now. You can see that IP address is still there, 192.168.101.7. I have booted the system multiple times, but I need not to do anything here. So whenever your system starts, if you want to execute something, you can add it up here in this file and you can do your job. Okay. So what I was explaining is, yeah, one thing I wanted to tell here is, suppose if I wanted to go in run level 0, what was run level 0 is halt the system and shut down. So I need to type sudo init 0, and all these run level only admin can reach. Okay, so I need to add sudo init 0 if I want. So it means I wanted to shut down my halt my system and shut down. Let's see what it does. It shut down the system completely. I need to restart now again. So similarly, if you press that particular init space, that run level, it goes in that run level and start the things. Vasuprada name is still coming. Okay, I can remove that later, not a problem. Okay, so we have next topic like how to assign the IP, static IPs. So system has started. Let me log in here and then not init.b. Let me check the IP. The configuration I can see here is etc sys config network scripts, and what was my my device for Ethernet? What was the name of the device for Ethernet? I hope everybody remembers that. The device name was ENP0S3. So I am going to open that. If CFG-ENP0S3. But obviously I have to open it using sudo. I need to put the password. So here we can see DHCP somewhere. Yes. Boot2 is DHCP. I might need to give here something as
None, sir.
yeah.
None are static.
Yeah. Let's play with static because we wanted to give the static Ethernet, proxy mode no, browse only, static, and after that IPv4 settings definitely we need to give somewhere. So
On boot is equal to S.
type Ethernet none and then
On boot is equal to S.
yes, wait. Let me give the IP also search. IP address equals to 192.168. What was the IP address? Somebody remembers it? Let me see. Enter the command. Okay. Let me save it. 192.168.101.7. Okay. And 101.7. Sorry, I'm giving 8. Let's see. So that we can see the changes reflected here or not. And then subnet, if we want to give prefix equals to 24 is the subnet here. Gateway, wherever you are giving an IP, you need to have information of all the network configuration, like what all I'm giving. What is the IP address? What is the net mask? What is the gateway? You need to know all the things. Then only you can give a static IP. Else you will not be able to give. I'm going to check what is the gateway. 192. That's a broadcast. 191.168.101.1 it should be. 192.168.101.1. Let's see. Then DNS 1 I can give 8.8.8. That's what I remember. The DNS default is yes, and then device is that, UUID is okay, name is also okay, on boot yes. I need to change this, and I think that's it.
So DNS search.
DNS 1 I have given already.
No, sir. DNS
Sorry.
search.
DNS search, I'm not sure if that is required. DNS1 is going to give the DNS. But here, in this case, DNS1 should be the gateway address and DNS2 should be the DNS of Google. DNS1. Let's see if gateway is same or not. Let me start the system CTL restart network sudo. Let's see if it's applied or not. Okay, we can see the IP address. It's 8. Now we can see that it's 8. Let me see if I'm able to access the internet or not. In google.com. Something we might have missed. No, it's not working. So maybe I might have missed the gateway. Let me check what is the gateway for my device here. One 1.1. That gateway is correct only. Sorry.
Method.
Method is static. Method is done proxy method. Let me change this to something else like 100 because 8 is very much near to the used devices. If anybody else is using mobile phone or laptop and that 8 is got assigned, probably it will not use. Okay. Let me restart. I have changed it to 100. 100 is assigned. Yes, 100 is assigned. And pin. Yeah, we are able to get. So we have seen something here. We have encountered a problem and we thought that can be a problem of IP conflict and we resolve it. By knowing that there can be an IP conflict. So you can get to know by thinking more and by using the Linux and its system. If you won't use, you will not know what are all errors you can find and how you can resolve that. So what I have, what the error I have encountered is previously I have given the IP8, IP static IP as IP address as 8. Yeah, I think I'm audible now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So, there can be different IPs. Yeah. So what is IP conflict is whenever in your local area network, whenever you have two system and both the system got assigned the same IP. Generally, DHCP doesn't give the same IP. Generally, DHCP doesn't give the same IP. Then who gives the same IP is that mistake can be done if a system is already using that IP, got shut down, and another system is coming up after some point of time, and that system has got the new system has got the IP of old system, and after some point of time you are turning on the old system. Please, if somebody don't want to speak, it's better to go on mute. Yeah, thank you. So that's the one case. The new system has also got the same IP, and the old system, if you are turning back on and the old system is not requesting a new IP from the DHCP, it will also tell that, hey, I was holding this IP and now another person is holding the same IP. So that's called an IP conflict. And another scenario is somebody has explicitly given the static IP which is already used, which I have done just now. 192.168.101.8 might have been used by somebody else and I was using it, so there can be IP conflict. So that's done. Let me see what I can do next. Anybody has any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So next is MBR and
Sir,
GPs. Yes.
we can set the static IP using command line also.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay.
Using if CFG, you can do that. If CFG and that particular Ethernet name ENP0S3 and then IP address / net mask, you can give that.
Yeah.
Anyways, we were doing everything here by using command line only. But yes, I know what you are asking. You are asking without opening a file if you wanted to do directly outside from the terminal itself. Yes, we can do that.
Yeah, sir. Because it's so much confusing in that editing the configuration file.
Yeah, you can do that also, but it's better to do it from here because if you do from command line, if you restart your system, your settings might have been gone. But in this case,
Oh.
since I have made it static explicitly from file, it's not going to change at all, despite of how many times I'm restarting my system.
Phone banana today. Phone banana. Coach banana.
Okay. Anyone has any other doubt? Okay, if no doubt, then let's proceed further. And that is GPT partition and MBR partition. So okay, I'm not sharing that screen. Sorry. I will share that now. So I'm going to create one more disk and attach it. CentOS.vdi I should add here. It's not giving me a privilege to add. Storage. Okay, let me shut down the system then. I'll add a disk here. So from now onwards, I will just simply type init 0. And I expect that everybody knows what is init 0. Init 0 or init 6 I will use. Storage. Let's add optical disk, hard disk. I want to create a disk image. VDI. Okay, let's say 8 GB. Not CentOS 1. CentOS 1 underscore hard disk. Not attached. Yeah, it's got attached. Okay, let's start it. So now we will have access to one extra drive. SDA1, SDB, got it. So I have told you that whatever device it's here, it's all mounted as files, and /dev directory. Let me list out here. You can see these files. Some of the files. Let me explain. Null or zeros. Where is zeros? Yeah, 0 is a file which will have all zeros. So we used to use this file if we want to write somewhere zeros in or any file zeros. Null is going to be the null, and this SDA is the SDA. Sorry, SDA is the hard disk 1, and the hard disk 1 was having two partitions. One we have created as boot, and one we have created a root. So SDA 1 might be boot, and SDA 2 might be root file system. And here SDB, we are able to see whatever we have created one more extra file system just now, that has came up as SDB. If we are creating any extra one more file system, that might come as SDC. And out of that second file system, second partition, not partition, second disk, if we create partition, 3 partitions, suppose if we have created, then it will come as SDB1, SDB2, SDB3. We'll see that SDB1, SDB2 is coming or not. Currently, we are able to see that just only SDB is coming. Okay. So now for managing that partitions, we need to have a disk. Sorry, I need to have a disk -L, which is permission denied. So I need to, okay. Sudo is elevating the privilege, but there are two more things which I want to tell you guys right now. That if I want to change user, for that command is su, switch user. And in left side, you are able to see that it's showing test@localhost. Localhost is a host name, test is a test. Test is a user. The host name is a name through that this system is get to know by other system as well. And test is the user through which I have logged in. So if I want to switch the username, I will use su and then I will give the username, and it's asking for the password. I will give the password, and you can see that test1@localhost. Okay. And one more extra thing I can explain here. Previously, it was showing this tilt symbol. This is called tilt symbol. And now it's showing test. It means it is the current directory where it is right now. This tilt means it is into the home directory. So for test1, what is the home directory? For test, home directory is this one. For test user, home directory is this one, /home/test. For test1, what is the home directory? Home directory for test1 is /home/test1. So if I directly want to go to, I don't know where I am in terms of folders, but I would directly want to go to the home folder of test1. I can give this cd space tilt, and let me use pwd. It has switched back me into test1. Despite of where I am, I can go to /var/log/ let's say Anaconda. I am here. This is my current directory, and if I want to switch to my home folder, I can just give cds and this tilt. It'll let me to be there. Now I wanted to switch back to root. Root is a default user which has been created while formatting the system or installing the operating system. So su space minus or su space hyphen, or simply sometimes su also. Let me give another example. Su also, it's giving me to the root. Let me give another example. Su space root also. So there are three methods I am able to go into the root user. So space minus or hyphen, then su only, switch user without giving any argument, and third is switch user space root. Okay, so I have switched back to root now, and this space hyphen L. Here you can see this is the disk, and SDA, and it has 21.5 GB, and SDA1 it is divided into, and SDA2 it is divided into, and star mark means SDA1 has been marked as bootable, so it has marked as boot partition, and it is formatted into Linux and LVM. Now we have another disk which is SDB/dev/SDB, and one sector is 512 bytes here. This is also one sector is 512 bytes. It means like it has this many sectors, 41943040. Every hard disk or any memory system is divided into sectors, and that sectors, we need to know that how much capacity of that particular sector is. Here is 512 bytes. So if you are going to multiply 512 bytes with this many sectors, you'll be able to get the whole bytes And if you convert this whole bytes into GB, you are able to get this. You'll be able to get this 21.5 GB. Okay. So it shows the swap route as well. It's a good thing. Okay. So now my concentration here is to format the SDB in different formats. Okay. We don't see anything out of SDB here right now, but after formatting, we should be able to see that. So now I want to create a new partition out of SDB. So let me like this. We can go into that particular partition, sorry, in that particular hard disk to edit or modify or whatever we wanted to do. So disk space, that particular disk name /dev/sdb. Okay. I have gone into that disk. You can see that it's showing welcome to fdisk utility. It shows the information. And we can get the help from here by pressing M. It shows all these things. My concern is I wanted to create a new partition or add a new partition. For that, I need to press N and press enter. What kind of partition it is going to be? It's a primary or extended. I will create a primary partition. And partition number, it's asking how much, what could be the partition number here. So this disk doesn't have any partition, so I will give 1. And SDA has 2 partitions. So for first, just 1 second, please. Yeah, thank you. So partition number, yeah. So SDA was having 2 partitions, so we will be able to see that partition number as 1 and 2. But here there's no partition at all, and if I want to create first partition, I will give 1, and then I'll press enter. Now it's asking first sector should start from where? Okay. Sai Kumar, you wanted to say something?
No, sir. I have some technical glitches, sir. Sometimes audio is not.
Okay. So default is from starting. So we don't want sectors to get assigned from midway. So I will give just from the default. So I will just press enter. Sorry, not there. I'll press enter. Default value it has taken 2048. Okay. And what is the last sector? Let's say I wanted to allocate the whole partition, or I wanted to create a new partition with the whole disk itself. So I'll press enter so that it takes a complete thing. Okay. Now it is showing partition 1 of type Linux and of size 8 GB is set. Now I will need to write. It has not been committed to the disk. This is the process I have defined, that what this files, what this command, how this fdisk command should process with that particular disk. I have written kind of like a process for this particular disk to perform all these operations. Now I need to commit that disk. For committing, I need to write. You might be able to see somewhere W mentioned the second last. In the help menu, second last is write table to the disk and exit. So I will do W and I will press enter. It will write successfully and it will enter. Now, suppose if I want to see fdisk space -L, I can expect some partition in SDB as well. Let's see. You can see that it's showing SDB1, correct? Previously, it was not showing anything. Okay. Now I want to delete the partition. Once again, I will go there and then I'll press help here for delete. What is D is the partition to delete. I'll press D and I'll press enter. So what is the default? If it's only having one partition, it's going to delete. If it doesn't have one or it has multiple, it will ask which partition I want to delete. So since it was having only one partition, it's deleted. And I will press W, it will get written. Let me check again the disk -L. We are able to see that it doesn't have anything. Previously it was showing here. Previously it was showing here that it's having one partition and it's boot or not, and what is the start, and what is the end sector, what is the block size 512, what is the ID of that, and what is the system in which it has got formatted. It is showing all the things, but no, now it's not showing anything because it is not formatted and it will not be visible in the system as well. The disk is there, but for that particular disk to be visible, we need to format that, and we need to format that in any known partition, and after formatting it should be visible here, and if it is visible, it's displaying here. After that, we need to mount that particular file system to copy data or to delete data inside that disk. Here at this point of time, everybody understands or not that we are trying to format the disk right now. We are creating a partition and we are deleting a partition. How to copy data in that partition, that I will show now. Let me create that again, partition, and then I'll show you how to copy the data as well. For copying the data, obviously we need to have mounted somewhere. If people are able to, if folks are able to recollect data from our last classes. Okay, let me format it. New primary, then I just want all the things default, and then blue. Okay, here SDB1 is coming. Yes.
Before, after giving the partition size, so we should enter the P for print. It is mandatory or not?
We should enter the P.
Yeah.
What is P?
For
print the partition
print.
table.
Yeah.
If you want to cross verify whatever you have written, you want to cross verify, you can do that by P. But I know that it's just only one partition and I don't have anything to do. So I can skip that. It's just printing of the partition table, whatever you have done. So that you can cross verify, and after that you can write it down or you can commit that. Okay. So it's not mandatory that you have to do, then only it will get executed further. It's not like that. So we can see fdisk-L, we can see the SDB1. Okay. Now I need to mount this at some place so that I can open and I can write the data. So for that, I can do mount slash. Okay. Let's create a directory. mkdir slash mnt slash what is D drive. Okay. And in D drive, I will mount that. Mount slash dev slash sdb1 space slash mnt slash D drive. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to mount our SDB1, whatever we have created in uni partition, into D drive. mounting read-only unknown file system. Oh, I need to give partition. I need to format that again. Disk
We need to
identifier.
create file system, sir.
Yeah, I need to create file system. It has created partition, but after creating the partition, I need to format that disk to any known partitions. Let me check whether it has mounted or not. It should not have mounted. SDA, okay, good. It's not mounted. Let me go back again there. And whether I can format from here or not. Please go on mute. Okay, here I don't see anything to partition, sorry, to format it. So I will go to another utility called gdisk for formatting.
Sir,
Yes.
can we use mk make file system mkfs.xfs and device name?
Yes.
It
Yes,
is the
that also we can
formatting.
use. In fact, that we can use dd also to write down 0000s into a particular device. We can use that mkfs also. And here gdisk is just another piece of software which I'm using. Look, in Linux, whatever I'm doing, you might know how to do that thing differently. There are several utilities, there are several software comps. I might be doing differently, you might be doing differently, but the purpose is going to be the same. Okay. And there can be some chances that, or most of the cases, you might in some cases I might know more than you people, or in some cases you might know more than me, because you might have accessed that command, you might have used it, so you know it. If I will use it, I will also know it. Okay, I know more than you people right now in some cases because I have used all those commands. I have been there. If you want to know more, then definitely you have to use it, and you have to make frequent use of that particular software or piece of tool. Okay.
Yes.
Sudo not required. What happened to internet? Okay, I need to switch my Wi-Fi actually. Okay, so what is the problem here? I've got muted for a long time, correct? Sometime back. So at that time, what has happened is my Wi-Fi network has got it changed, and yeah, it got restored. It should work now. So what was the problem? I can tell you. I previously I was connected through through the broadband connection, and the router was giving me the IP in range of 192.168.101, which everybody has seen that I have set that IP in static. Okay, and after that, what I have done is my Wi-Fi got turned off, so I switched back to mobile network. And after switching back to mobile network, my mobile network gives the IP range is 192.168.10 range IP. So my laptop has changed the IP from 101 to 10, but this virtual machine has set static IP. So it has not changed yet. And after changing back to my original, I was expecting this to work. What it said now is let me enable this repository. But it's not able to ping anywhere. Okay, maybe I'm changing back again. That might have caused the issue. Let's restart. Broadband is still not good. I need to switch back to my mobile itself. We can see that there is so much of delay in the packet it's giving me back. So the time is 53, 52, but it's taking more time. Okay, now it's coming. Let's run that command again and see if it goes through or not. If it doesn't go through this, then I will need to check the network. And with network, I need to change the IP also. Yeah, it installed it. Okay. So it's a network issue I am having right now. So let me go through the gdisk. Sudo gdisk space Untitled Sdb. Warning, secondary partition table overlaps the last partition by 33 blocks. You need to delete this partition or resize it to another utility. Okay. Let me delete that itself again. Yeah, no partition. I wanted to create a new partition. Right. Sorry. Partition number, I should not give W. Let me exit from here. Yeah, deleted. New. Enter. This is also enter, and currently type is Linux file system. GUID L source code. By default, it is going to format into the Linux file system. Let's write it down and proceed with that. This time I think it is formatted. Yep, let's see whether I'm able to write a mount or not. /dev/sdb space /mnt/dj. No, but it has shown me that it's formatting. Then let me format in another file system. Maybe that Linux file system might not be.
The file system should be an XFS format.
XFS or ext4, NTFS, FAT32. So I don't see that formatting option where it's asking for to format in XFS or NTFS or FAT32 or any ext4, ext3. It's not asking. So okay, let me go ahead to the back to the previous command itself. MKFS. Somebody has suggested that. Then I gave the formatting disk, and then ext4 I wanted to format in, then /sd dev/sdb1. This is a command for formatting it. Let me take some time. It's done. STB, okay, ext4. Now I think I should be able to mount /dev.
So
Something else.
MKFS is used for define the file system.
File system partition. It's defining the file system partition.
Yes, sir. It is used for MKFS command.
That should do that, I believe. Okay.
MKFS dot sir.
The command is correct, I believe. Why? Because it has formatted it.
Sir,
Yes, suggest something. I wanted to see what are the comments.
MKFS dot XFS, sir. You used I think T. I don't know about T.
Okay, XFS is a file system which we are using right now. Let me check if what error it throws is file system is unknown type. Okay. So what are all I am giving that SPROGS. So let me tell the story behind this is what possibly could be is what it's showing me that I'm unable to mount the file system because whatever the file system type I'm providing. Oh, it's already installed, man. Okay, let me change that to XFS itself, and then we'll see why it's not. It should mount the ext4 as this package says that it manages the ext4 also. So what was the command, sir?
mkfs.xfs space dav hyphen dav space.
This is the command you are saying? Is this the command you
Sir,
are mentioning?
remove the space after the mkfs.
This one now.
After mkfs. Yeah, right.
Yes, sir. Now it's correct, sir.
That's it?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It's execute, sir.
It's already having the ext4. Executed?
Sir, I have one suggestion. We can create a volume group, and after that, we can create LV, and then
We can
the
do so many
MKFS.
things. We can do so many things.
Sir, I have one more doubt, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, after if I am in root means they leave only one partition, sir. SDA one, sir. SDA partition they are given, sir. How to switch on to the SDB, sir?
You should not do that actually. You should not
We
switch
have,
back your root partition.
sir, we have to add the disk or is there another comment, sir?
What was your question? Can you be more clear?
Sir, at present I am in root user, sir.
Okay.
Disk was an SDA one, sir. Presently. SDA, sir. But I want to create a new partition like SDB, sir. How I have to create, sir?
For that, you need to turn off your virtual machine. Go to virtual machine settings. Yeah. Go to virtual machine setting here. Go to storage and add the storage from here. Like I have added this CentOS 1 hard disk.vdi of 8 GB. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Like that, you need to add, then only it will come as SDB.
Sir, first of all, in storage only, we have to put an hard disk, no, sir. Floppy and hard disk and all some things are there, sir. We have to put the DVD first, sir. Is it correct, sir?
No. this is a CD drive. Just consider your laptop. You bought your laptop, okay? After buying a laptop, you have not created lots of partition in that. So what you will do is either you add a hard disk, or after adding the hard disk, you will or you can insert a pen drive as well to have an extra space. So when you insert a pen drive, it means you are inserting an extra storage device. Okay. So in the same way, you need to insert an extra hard disk here. You need to create an extra hard disk here. For creating an extra hard disk, you need not to have the ISO of operating system. Installation of operating system, it's already done. So you no need to have an operating system installation ISO. You need not to put the CD drive here. Okay.
Okay, sir.
In this, in storage, you need not to put any CD drive. It's done. What you need to do is you need to add an extra hard disk to extend your storage.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. If I add one more storage here, if I add one more hard disk, then it will come as SDC1 or SDC/dev/SDC.
Yes, sir.
So similarly, it used to be coming. Yes, somebody has pasted some command. Let's see. Yes, so suggestion here is mkfs.xfs /dev/sdb or sdb1 Mohammed Numan. What do you want me to write here? Tell me.
SDB1.
After that, that's it.
Yes.
Shall I hit enter?
Yes.
Okay. Permission denied. Let me add sudo. Okay. I think this is what I have done last time also. It's asking that it's already have XFS. If I want to write once again XFS, I need to force this operation. Then I have to give -f to forcefully do that. It's done. Shall I use mount now? Okay, let me use.
For verification, once you verify, sir.
What is that for verification? Okay. What mistake I was doing? I am not trying to mount the partition. I was trying to mount the disk. Everything was correct previously, but I missed SDB1. Okay. In mount, we can see the last line. You're able to see the last line. It says /dev/SDB1. It is mounted in /mnt/d drive. Let me unmount /dev/SDB1 and let me proceed with the formatting. What I have done before. I will delete, I will create, I'll give all the value default. This is also default, and I will comment it and I'll proceed it. I'll format that in ext4. Formatting done. Yeah. Now I should run the mount command. Sudo mount /dev /sdb1. Last time I was not giving 1. Then D drive. It should go. It's done. So I understood the mistake, what was happening last time, and now the same thing is happening. Same thing it's working right now. And one difference was there is fdisk /sdb /dev/sdb. It doesn't have any partition, but I have made the partition sdb1 and I have formatted that. So I should mount that particular file system only. I should not mount sdb. I should mount sdb1. Okay. So similarly, we have seen that how I'm formatting in ext4. Similarly, we can format in other format as well, like ext3 or ntfs or any other formatting we can do. Okay, my intention was to format. Okay, we'll see that further in next session. Okay, for this session I think we are good enough. So I'm stopping the recording right now.
Yeah. So good morning, sir.